RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Did you hear that music, by the way? I don't know. Anyway. This is what happens when I don't do a show during the week. So let me see. Where do we begin? Hello, my name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. I try to do a show during the week. We have our Friday night get together. That's standard. I haven't missed a show in a very long time on a Friday, unless something happens. But this week I was going to do a show, and then I had to put it off. But I had another emergency, an animal emergency, and well, let me see. How do I even begin? Somebody dumped I went to where the community cats are. I went to check up. Actually, you know what happened? Let me tell you the story for real. Like the whole thing, whatever. I went to go put a trail camera up by where I take care of some community cats. You guys know I volunteer with New York City Feral Cat Initiative and do TNR, and then we take care of some colonies. And I wanted to see, there was a very dear cat who lived outside his whole life. Little Scrappy. He passed away. Little Scrappy. Rest in peace. I'll start crying. I'm not even kidding. He's whatever. Okay, let's not go Scrappy. And then another cat that lived there got adopted. We had a suspicion that this cat was somebody had dumped it. But it was whatever. It was out there for like 5 years, but somebody took it. Okay, but they have I haven't seen these cats. So I went to, I know a few months ago I had a trail camera up and I saw that there were cats there. I've never met them myself, but they're there. But now it's a few months later. I want to go back and put the trail camera back up. So I went there on Monday, and then the trail camera, I forgot the batteries. Okay, so I was like, oh, I forgot. I'll go back another day when I can. So thank goodness I did, because I went back and some waste of human DNA threw out a guinea pig. Just threw it out in a bag with some grapes and a cookie. I guess we should be grateful they put some grapes in there, but it was so disgusting. How do you do that? Take the damn thing to a shelter. It's like Kristi Noem, There's no excuse for things like that. So, on one hand, I thought, I'm sorry I didn't have the trail cameras up, because I would have seen this person do that. But then, on the other hand, if I had put the trail cameras up, I wouldn't have gone back there until Sunday. And God knows what would have happened to the poor little creature in a bag, who was just, I thought it was dead at first. And then I started to touch it on it, and it started squeaking. The poor thing. Nothing wrong. I took it to the vet. It has some goop on its eyes. It's on medication now. Maybe, is that why somebody threw it out? I don't know. There's no excuse in this day and age. If you can't take care of an animal, and dumping any animal, abandoning any animal is a crime. Okay? And I'm putting those damn trail cameras up because I'm sick of shit like this happening. It happens. But so, to make a long story short, now I have a guinea pig. And I don't mind. I'll help him. I felt bad. I was going to take him to the ACC. And then I thought, well, I got to take him to the vet. Let me see what's going on. I don't know. I just felt so sorry for this poor thing. And then the way I feel now, I don't have a lot of room here. And whatever. He don't take up a lot of room. But I feel bad traumatizing him again. I'll let him stay here, and I don't know. I've never had a guinea pig, so if anybody has any suggestions, I know that they need another guinea pig. So then I thought, well, this is how it started. Now I'll end up having all these guinea pigs, but apparently they need other guinea pigs to be truly happy. Unlike me, who's dead inside. So I don't need anybody. But anyway, so I'm just kidding. I'm not dead inside. I'm not a Republican, clearly. So I thought, well, I guess I can contact the ACC and see if they have any other fosters, and I'll get a foster for him, a friend. But in the meantime, I bought a little guinea pig stuffed animal and put it in there, so maybe he'll feel less, I don't know, it's only been a few days, but people suck. They put a freaking guinea pig there, like, in a bag, like, for me or somebody else, another person who volunteers there to find. But thank God I found it. And it was raining too. Okay. Well, so yeah, it must have been a maggot who could do that? Who could do that? Right? So I never had a guinea pig, but now I do. And now his name is Spooky. And I hope, he has a very happy life here. The cats won't eat him. They're Ed. They've seen him, and I've allowed them to, sniff him and all. And they just like him. They like looking at him. They're not, they don't have that hunting instinct, I guess, because maybe Ray does. Well, Ray is actually the one who's more intrigued by him, but not in a bad way. So far, it's only been a few days. He hasn't been in any way aggressive to him. He's actually, seems like he kind of likes him. He was rolling on his back in front of him and, like, trying to, he was just sniffing him and reaching out to him and, whatever. Whatever. All right, let's get to work. What am I talking about? Guinea pigs. It is what it is. But, right, famous last words. Exactly, JD. Well, they can't. Well, cats are predators. They can't help it. But the thing is, they're not. They are predators. But the thing is, they haven't been taught to kill. That's the thing. So Tara Jr., Francis, Ray, perhaps, I don't know, but he's a little too big too. He's not exactly small, and I haven't left them alone with him, so trust me, they're not going to kill him. Don't worry, they won't. Those are famous last words. All right, let's not talk about it. I'm sure that there are people out there that have cats and guinea pigs at the same time. So, his name is Spooky, okay? Because he's spooky. He spooked me. All right, there's so much to talk about, especially since we missed this week of weekday shows. And I want to thank the patrons of this show. Thank you for everything you do to keep the show going and growing, and for your support in general. Now, come what may, right? Because you're really, if you're a Tarabuster supporter, we put you through a lot here, okay? So you're very long-suffering Tarabuster supporters. So thank you. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat right out of the gate, and thank you, Ed, for your super chat. And the cover charge. Yep, put the cover charge on the table. So, also, I want to thank Charlie from APS Radio News. I hope I didn't delay too long. I know it's kind of a pain in the ass waiting to see when the show will start. But thank you, Charlie, for all you do to keep the show going and growing, and keep the the community cats and cat treats. That's another thing. So thank you guys for everything, and thank you, Charlie. If you haven't checked out APS Radio News, please do. Charlie curates other independent media voices, and not all on as flaming liberal as I am, but they all have interesting points of view. No, no monsters, no Perjury Taylor Greene types. So yeah, let's get into it. Thank you again, Charlie. So let's see, APS Radio News. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, the music, that was a full segment. I'm sorry. Oh my God, guys. We'll be right back. How the hell? I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking decaf now. That's what I've decided to do. Okay, whatever. Who cares? I gotta cut down on the caffeine. So, let me see. Where to begin? Aren't they horrible? The Republicans. Everything. And this is, like I was saying, why we need a daily show at a set time. Because it never stops. And we are fighting fascism. And it is incredibly alarming that it's not the fringe anymore. The fringe are in the House now. They're in the Senate. They're on the Supreme Court. And God help us, they want to go back into the presidency. They want to shove that con man into the presidency despite receiving fewer votes. And those effing Supreme Court flunkies who are squatting in these on the bench despite being nominated and put there by people who receive fewer votes. And that's Alito, that's Uncle Clarence. And of course, then you have Justice I Like Beer, Justice whatever Gorsuch. Oh, well, the Dishonorable Justice Gorsuch, who agreed to participate in the coup when Moscow Mitch called him up and said, hey, you want to help me F up this court like the Nazis did? Well, sure, he said. And then we're all supposed to go along with this. But, of course, and then you have Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who couldn't wait for Ruth Bader Ginsburg's body to even be in the ground before she tripped over her on the way to the bench. And they all are a bunch of dishonorable ghouls who have no business being in a democracy because they hate democracy. They loathe it. They want the rich to run everything and everybody else in their place, just like the system the founders fought a revolution to escape. And this country is supposed to be an antidote to that kind of bullshit, but it only works on agreement. You see, and that's the way all laws. That's the way all functioning societies, all societies function, I should say, or it has to. It's democracies in particular. You have to agree to the rules, and you have to abide by them, too. But as we see, it's rules for thee, not for me. Justice for thee, not for me. And when the jury system, for example, what's going on in New York with, not just New York, but the 88 times indicted con man, who, with the fake university, the vitamin scam, who received fewer votes, the one who had classified documents in his shitter, the one who took those classified documents on a plane to meet with the Saudis for whatever reason, Oh, gee, I wonder. I'm sure they were talking about making the world safe for democracy. And this is what we're dealing with. All right, where do I even begin? Let's start with the Oversight Committee, because what I want to talk, we have a few things on the plate tonight, and you know how fast everything it goes by. I want to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. And just what an absolute disgrace she is. and it's basically she's emblematic of the rot in the Republican Party and how they're unfit. They have no business being in the majority. They're not a majority party. They hate this democracy. They hate it. They want to. All right. Well, let me stop with the pejor. Is that a pejorative? Well, no. It's more of a descriptor. But we have the receipts. So I want to talk about that incident with Perjury Taylor Greene and Jasmine Crockett and others on the Oversight Committee, and also how the corporate media, how they what do you call it? Reported on it as if it was both sides. Oh, it's look at this Congress. Can't they get along? It's gotten worse. Well, why has it gotten worse? Do you think if it were Jasmine Crockett and AOC and other Democrats and semi-normal Republicans on the other side who weren't absolute baboons who think that Sandy Hook was a false flag and Jewish space lasers cause wildfires in California. If you think just add Perjury Taylor Greene, take her out of the equation. Do you think that any committee meeting or anything that went on in the House would devolve into such a disgrace? Of course not. The government, just like the society, just like everything else, is nothing but a collection of human beings. And if those human beings are Nazis who hang out with Nazis, okay? Perjury Taylor Greene is somebody who went and spoke at Nick Fuentes' convention. And then when she was, I guess, the press was like, what are you doing speaking at a convention that is run and hosted by a Nazi, an avowed Nazi? She was like, oops, bullshit. She knew what she was doing. And she was up there saying, well, I like this guy because they try to cancel him and he just won't be canceled. Yeah, that's what I think. Every time we try to smash these fascists into history's trash bin, they keep bubbling back over. So we can't rest. We can't sit back and think that, it's that's it. We finished. We're safe and sound in our functioning society. No, as we can see, we're up against the wall now, and I'm sick of it, really. You know what I'm sick of, to tell you the truth? For example, watching the corporate media, and they were going on. Every other story is how Biden is losing support in different demographics, right? It's some black men are now saying that they don't want to vote for Biden, or women, or middle class women, or young people, or it's like always something that Biden is losing support in this one or that one in this demographic. Good luck, booby, with the Republicans. When I saw them on the corporate media talk about how Biden, they did some kind of freaking focus group. Biden is losing support with African-American young men. Oh, yeah? Well, good luck with the party that just, where Greg Abbott just pardoned a murderer who killed a Black Lives Matter protester, right? Because good luck there. Give me a break. All right, I don't want to get distracted with that because that's another story I want to talk about. But I wanted to talk about, the nonsense, the complete disgrace of the Republicans, that they bring nothing to the table, and they really destroy everything they touch. And now they're in the House, in the majority. Oh, yeah, and then I want to talk about Alito, of course. an insurrection, another insurrectionist, right? Jim on the chat. Biden is down 3 points with college-educated Muslim guinea pigs. Well, my guinea pig is going to be voting correctly. And that means voting for democracy. Voting to, once again, send the fascists packing. All right, let's play the video, I guess. There's so much to discuss with that video, to unpack in general. There's so many receipts in that video alone. You know what I mean? Because, all right, it's such, oh my God, where is it? Hold on. Come on, man. My computer's slow. All right, it's open. Why is it taking so long? Okay. Let's start playing the video.
In this special nighttime episode, we resume the madcap comedy mystery series called Comer's High Crimes and Misadventures, the hilarious quest to impeach a president who has done nothing wrong, an avowedly low-budget but multi-million-dollar taxpayer-funded production which most Americans assumed had ended 2 months ago and had completely forgotten about. But
isn't it funny, though, how Republicans, how they love to say, Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Or who's that other one? Roger Stone did nothing wrong. They actually sell merchandise with that statement on it. Meaning, of course, they did everything wrong. They're traitors. Roger Stone is a traitor. So is Paul Manafort. That's somebody who Trump is bringing back into his campaign because they're all traitors. You understand? I wish I was wrong here because they really don't want a government that works for all. And why? Because, I mean, it's simple as the Occam's razor. They hate sharing civilization with others, no matter what that other, of course, it's black people. They don't like brown people, black people, anyone with darker pigment. And they don't like anybody who isn't them. It's fascinating to me, but all right, well, let's continue.
tonight, with the cast and crew now fresh back from a surprise
You mean
trip
like
to
the
New York
January
City.
6th
The
committee?
January, look, she
Stop
has
it.
no ability to control herself like a child. You know how children are. When I was a child, I had a lot less self-control. I would just blurt things out, right, and not really understand all the consequences. That's why children aren't allowed to do things. They can't form contracts. They can't sign documents. They can't, do certain jobs. Well, they shouldn't be working until the age of 16 in some places, but whatever. They, give Republicans time. They're working on it. But we don't allow children they're not fully actualized people yet. They're not adults. This is why, there are consequences. You can't have it like for people who are sexually attracted to children, let's say, right? You can't go in a relationship with a child because they don't have the full autonomy. They don't know, they can't make these decisions. And so it's a crime, no matter what people say. I'm only thinking about all those videos that I watch about. There's so many people out there, men in particular, who want to meet up with underage people. Why am I going down this road? It's one of my I watch that on YouTube a lot, where they whatever, you know what I'm saying. I think they've actually cracked down on it. It's like the Chris Hansen thing, whatever. The point is that this is why Republicans, they really have, they lack the fundamental maturity. It's not why, it is what it is. This is who they are. And whoever votes for these people to send them to Congress to represent them, you should be embarrassed by what you have done, not just to yourself, but to this country. What a disgrace. And Perjury Taylor Greene she's the poster child. So is Jim Jordan and half of these others, the kooks. But they really are the poster children for gerrymandering, doing away with the corrupt system that allows horrible people to be as disgusting as they are and face no consequences. Because Perjury Taylor Greene, she's in an incredibly gerrymandered district. So only the real bottom feeders, I was going to say Neanderthals, but really to call them Neanderthal would be to give them a promotion on the evolutionary tree. I don't know what. Have they learned to walk upright? Not maybe physically, maybe superficially, but certainly not morally or spiritually. God knows, sexually, forget it.
Time restored to me, Mr. Chairman.
Order. Chair recognizes ranking member.
Okay. Different congressional investigations and inquiries.
I mean, Comer is such a clown.
The lady from Georgia, because he issued.
I just want to hear Joe Biden. Why can't the American people hear him?
Order, Mr. Chairman.
Why does she have the most annoying rake on a chalkboard voice?
Get her under control.
American people. She always talks about the American people. Meanwhile, she represents how many American peoples? Not many. More American people are disgusted with her. More American, and this is another thing what they were going on about when they were playing this clip on the corporate media, saying how, this is why Americans turn away from politics, why they hate and as if it's that's some kind of rational response. The fact that you've turned away from this is why these Republicans have been allowed to run rampant over our system. I don't pay attention to politics. Well, shame on you, because this is what you got. They all suck. It's both bullshit. It's not the truth. Yeah, the system has a problem. We have, and I can diagnose it, and I know we talk about it all the time, what we can do to fix it. First, we got to get these scummy, bottom crawlers out of the way. The people who are just there for what? They're not there to help the American people, because they could give a shit about the American people. They wouldn't pull a hair for the American people, and they don't. And I'm not just saying it. They look at the fact that they're in the process of trying to shove this con man back into the Oval Office. They know who he is. That everyone who worked for him knows who he is. Everyone who worked for him knows he sucks. Anyone with any legitimacy or any ounce of patriotism, they know that he is absolutely and completely unfit for office, that he only gives a shit about himself. He never spent a day on the American people. And they want to put this person back in the Oval Office, who left the Oval Office, slunked away like a disgusting child who was upset because he didn't get what he wanted, and his mommy never taught him any better how to behave, how to be gracious when you lose, not just when you win. This is who they are. They're not even gracious winners, much less losers. Are you kidding me? And he skulked out of the White House, but leaving 1 million corpses in his wake. So how do you put anybody, like everything else that he did that sucked, and we can go through it. Imagine and remember the horror of those years, watching this con man disgrace us, going to the 75th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. What a disgrace to send this draft dodging con man there, who's with a backdrop of headstones of actual patriots who stormed the beaches of Normandy to stop a dictator like he wants to be, like a fascist, like he is. And in front of that backdrop of headstones, he talks about nervous Nancy. What a child! Disgusting. If a child acted like that, they would be corrected. But what do the Republicans do? They can't help themselves, tripping over themselves to go rushing to this con man's defense because they're upset that, the con man's upset because his cult isn't standing outside the courtroom. There's a few, some real kooks are out there and they're getting some airplay. I mean, they are the real, dead enders. And there's not many. There might be 5 of them. And they're wearing all kinds. They look ridiculous. They're wearing the Trump regalia, and it's pathetic. So these Republicans got to run up there and help their little fragile ego, wannabe dictator. They have to salve his ego and just debase themselves in the process, leaving Congress, this is the majority. Just leaving the work of the American. Well, what work? Well, we should count ourselves lucky. That's the other thing on the corporate media, because they keep saying how, when the Republicans are, what are they getting done? They're not getting anything done. We sent them there to get things done. God help us. Thank God they're not getting anything done. We should be grateful, because when Republicans get things done, we lose. The American people lose. That's the truth. Show me if there are any dissenters out there. Show me. Give me an example of when the Republicans passed policy and the American people were better off for it. You can't, because they don't do anything for the American people. Oh, they passed a tax cut for 88% of which went to the top. They made the income disparity and upward immobility worse. Whenever they get their clutches on anything, they turn it into chaos. They don't add understanding or empathy or humanity or decency. They don't ever shine light on anything. They add confusion. They add chaos. They make people's lives harder. They add trauma upon trauma. That's what they do. Show me. Everything they do, they destroy. When we try to take these leaps forward, we try to make a more perfect union. We try to leave no one behind. We try to promote the general welfare. And there are the Republicans. If ever we do succeed in passing policy that the American people need, that actually address problems, that make things better, like the child tax credit, like, or the helping people, the student loan forgiveness, all this. Republicans stand in the way. They're right now trying to stop Medicaid and Medicare from negotiating drug prices. Can you believe that? So tell me again how Joe Biden's down in the polls. He's losing with, black and white hamsters now. I don't know, right? guinea pigs. Ridiculous. Up in the polls, down in the... How is this even possible? You know how? I'm talking about how how is the con man in any way, shape, or form in the running? First of all, we know the polls are bullshit in a lot of ways because every election, thankfully, in the past year or so, has the polls have been wrong, and it's swung the way of the Democrats. Thank God. And I have a feeling, not that we're going to sit on our laurels, but it's gonna be the same when the con man. But tell me, I'm telling you guys, they're fighting to. This is what Republicans do. They're trying to stop people from voting. This is what they do, because they're not a majority party. They can't run on policy. So, all right, let's keep going. We didn't even touch the surface of this yet.
President Trump issued an edict. No, I am glad. I am glad that the gentlelady from Georgia is learning something tonight. Okay.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Unbelievable.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Exactly.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
What the fuck are you pulling out of your ass? Perjury. As if, see, this is the thing with Republicans. They're saying that, the poor con man is being picked on, and it's because of the judge. Because whenever the long arm of the law touches or catches up to the con man, so everybody is, it's always because everyone's picking on him. According to Trumpanzee law, Trump could do no wrong, and everyone else is, everyone else is shit. It's just that Trump is, for example, Michael Cohen. They're saying, he's a liar, he's a criminal, you can't trust him. Yeah, that's the way everyone in the Trump orbit is, according to Trump's defense. Everyone in his orbit, they all suck. They go to prison for him. They commit crimes for him. They lie for him. But he's a babe in the woods. He's as pure as the driven snow. Everyone around him, he just happens to be surrounded by liars and criminals and con men. It's not him. It's everyone else is committing crimes. They just do it for him. It's not that he has anything to do with it. But, yeah, is Perjury Trader Green's hair green? It does happen. I don't know personally, but I have heard tell that if you dye your hair too much, too many times blonde, she's not a blonde for real. But if you continue to bleach your hair, it will turn green after a while. So, whatever. But they go whenever, whatever. If anybody picks on their dear leader, then they go through everyone's history, the jury, the bailiff, the court officer, the judge, everyone has to be perused. They have to go through their life. And then it's, they're a Democrat. They voted Democratic. They took a picture with a Democrat because the Republicans, once again, are projecting. You see, they know how corrupt they are. They simply assume everybody else is. Meanwhile, the Democrats are, trying to abide by the rule of law. You don't see the Democrats when Hillary Clinton received more votes than any other candidate ever received, and the con man lost by receiving fewer votes by a wider margin than by which Obama became the president, right? So Hillary Clinton received the most votes, more than Obama, and still didn't become the president because of this archaic bullshit electoral college that is basically propping up, once again, these right-wingers, the tyranny of the minority. What kind of functioning society allows the minority, the people who receive fewer votes, who lose in any other election, in any other world? They don't get the most votes, and they still get to become the so-called president? Bullshit. That's complete bull. No wonder the country is in the shitter right now, trying to crawl out of the sewer with these Republican albatrosses, the ball and chain around our neck and ankles, right? Because so Perjury Taylor Greene's like, oh, well, Judge Merchan or whatever has a daughter who works for a company that does work for Democrats. So that's it, because in Republican, in their worlds, because they are disgusting, they have no morals, they are corrupt, they will sell their own mother, like Uncle Clarence does. He's sold his own mother to Harlan Crow, who keeps his mother in a house. Right? Really, think about that. For real, I would be embarrassed for that. But these Republicans have no shame. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I could take care of my own mother. Thank you very much. I'm a full-grown adult. Especially Uncle Clarence, these Republicans are all about manhood. Are you a man or are you a child, Uncle Clarence? But anyway, I'm choking. So Perjury Taylor Greene, it's like, oh yeah, everybody. So that's what she's trying to insinuate. Everyone's corrupt because somebody worked for a Democrat, and that means that's so that's why the whole trial is because Judge Merchan's daughter works for a company that does work for Democrats. Oh my God. But in their disgusting Republican worldview, that this is what they have done to us. This is why when you watch the corporate media, then they say things like, well, the Obama appointed judge or the whatever appointed judge. That never was the case. Why should that be the case? It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to matter. But they have injected into the public discourse that it does matter, that it matters, that everything is partisan. What's partisan about stopping a coup? What is partisan about a effing dirtbag con man who received fewer votes having classified documents in his bathroom? What's partisan about that? About a lawsuit or bringing him to court for trying to overthrow an election, for calling up the Secretary of State saying, I just want you to find the amount of votes I need. Find them. What the hell is partisan about stopping this dirtbag from wiping his ass with the sacrifices that every patriot, that not these right-wingers, of course, that everyone, that people who died for this thing. I mean, it's such a disgrace. I can't even, that's what really offends me the most. When I go to the cemetery, Calvary Cemetery, and there are graves. It says, Normandy invasion. This, another grave. In one section, there's a lot of World War II dead. But they're all young men, 21, 22, 24, 25, young people who never got a chance to live. Died in action in Italy, 1945. So, and the Normandy and many from Normandy. just days after. Could you? I mean, what a horrible way to pay them back for their sacrifice. To vote for a dirtbag who says he wants to be a dictator on day one. And who is the greatest threat to this country, who admires dictators, never has a good thing to say about our Democratic allies, but certainly genuflects in front of all the world's most disgusting dictators. That's who he wants to be, to emulate. You know, you want to know somebody, look at their friends. And look at Perjury Taylor Greene. All these horrible people. Just awful. Come on.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
just
AG.
I don't think you know what you're here
President.
for.
Well, you the one talking about. I guess
I
you're still
think your
stuck in the
fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
You see.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
your
please
history and
regain
order.
No,
order
it's
of
not
your
beneath. You
committee?
hear
Order.
Jamie Raskin. That's
Please.
beneath even you.
There's a point of order.
We have a point of order. Mr. Lynch, state your point.
But you see, that's the con man's influence right there. This is what he's done to this country. Oh, your fake eyelash. Like, what a child. Go away, you disgusting juvenile. Go back to your CrossFit. Go back. You know, your family has a nice business that they put your name on, even though you never worked a day in your rotten life. And, you know, they put her name on their business documents when she started running for Congress because, you know, she had to give this illusion that she's a businesswoman when her business was going to the gym and banging other people's husbands, cheating on her own husband. That's her business. She's a dirtbag. And oh, you know what? I love her that she loves Jesus so much. Because every other tweet, if you watch, well, especially on religious holidays, Jesus is my savior. Is he? Because if Jesus came back, you'd crucify him again. Perjury.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Greene's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack
Meeting will
the
suspend.
physical
Meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings
her
hurt?
You
words
hear? This is what got me too. Are your feelings hurt?
down.
Aw.
Oh, girl.
Aw, you see, just like Jesus, just like your Jesus that you pretend to worship taught you, right, Perjury? Are your feelings hurt? Aw, that's Republicans. You might as well insert that response to any need the American people have, right? Are your feelings hurt because your child died in a school massacre? Are your feelings hurt because you can't afford health care? Are your feelings hurt because you have to cut your diabetes medicine in half? Well, not anymore, thanks to Joe Biden. Are your feelings hurt for the fact that you come out of college an indentured servant to a bank instead of a citizen ready to start their life and contribute to society? Are your feelings hurt because you're watching the climate crisis and nobody's doing damn shit about it? Right? I mean, we can just go down the list. Are your feelings hurt because your granny died of COVID, your mother died of COVID, your cousin died of COVID, and we wouldn't put a freaking piece of cloth on our face? That's the Republican way. That's why I say I wish they were as Christian as they purport to be. I wish they were as patriotic as they purport to be. They're not patriotic. Are your feelings hurt? The cruelty is the point. Well, guess what? You don't have feelings? Are you? First of all, the Republicans are the biggest babies on earth. And you'll see in this video when, as soon as the Democrats clap back at them, pop the little bullies in the nose, they're like, oh, calm down. And they just, as if they have nothing to do with it. That's the thing. They act like this simply went on. They had there was no cause and effect here. Their hands are clean. It wasn't me. That's the party of personal responsibility. Are your feelings hurt? But no one in the media that I heard, except this show, no one brought that up. Why is that acceptable? Are your feelings hurt? Guess what? Human beings have feelings, and you just insulted somebody needlessly. You're supposed to be an adult. This isn't the schoolyard, you filthy, disgusting traitor. I know you can't help it because that's all Republicans have, are name-calling. Bully, schoolyard bully taunts. Let's go, Brandon. FJB. Right? Like children, like babies. What's your policy? You got a policy? Besides the antics you put on, besides some bullshit for your podcast, and I'm sure she's fundraising off of this. Are your feelings hurt? Well, I challenge you, filthy, disgusting Republicans who go by this show, and I know you do because I trigger you, and I challenge you to ask yourself, do you think that not giving a shit about your fellow Americans is somehow patriotic? How is that patriotic? Do you think that not having feelings, what are you doing in Congress representing people? If you are somehow you think that having feelings is a fault. Everyone has feelings. That's called humanity. But Republicans are disgraceful, and I hope that some Democrats are listening to the show, that people, somebody in the halls of power here, point it out. Yes, I have feelings, and the fact that you don't is a disgrace. And I'll say it again because we talk about, how Republicans, they're selling merchandise, drinking liberal tears and all that. I'm not here to drink their tears. I want them to get help, and obviously they need it. I want them to have education. I want them to stop voting for their own demise. I want them to get a grip, get a clue, stop being the agents of their own demise, stop attacking the democracy that so many fought, bled, and died to entrust to us. Stop being on the wrong side of history. Get help. Try some introspection. That's part of why we need universal health care, especially with mental health parity, because you people are sick. Absolutely sick. And you know that Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is the biggest snowflake of them all, like her dear leader. And such a child, calling people names. That's your standard bearer, Republicans. Fat pig and horse face. You really got a great policy there. You got a great platform. Horse face. You got fake eyelashes. You're fat. I mean, get the fuck out of here already. Fucking absolutely disgusting. They're all triggered by this con man. He's just, what a horrible influence. If children behaved like this in a a high school or grammar school election, right, for school council or president of the student council, and they behave like this? Horseface. Oh, you're horseface. Oh, the high school debating team. You got fake eyelashes. Have you seen the mirror lately, Perjury? I mean, it's like, what does it matter? It doesn't. But that's all they have. They have faux rage. They have division. They have chaos. It's time to stop being under the tyranny of this minority cult. We have so much work to do. First of all, is to get Joe Biden reelected. Get a majority in the House, a majority in the Senate. Send these filthy fascists into the gutter, into their little gutter minority where they belong, where they like to. That's what they do. You know, they're on the outside flinging their poo. They're good at it. And hopefully, one day, their voices will get lower and lower. But this is what they've done to this, the citadel of democracy. Perjury, Taylor Greene, they've done it. It's not today, of course. They've done it all along. She's done it. Bringing screaming matches to the halls of Congress, right? Screaming matches on the floor. Screaming matches in the halls. Chasing people down. Debate me. Debate me. Well, debate you about what? You're a fucking child. Debate me. In order to debate somebody, you have to be living in the same universe as them. You have to be operating under facts, not alternative facts, where a poor, put upon con man got cheated out of an election because he lost, because he received fewer votes. I mean, I can understand why he's confused. He received fewer votes the first time, and he got to stain the White House with its filth. Are your feelings hurt? Nobody, somebody who's talking about feelings. Do you have any other feelings besides outrage, Perjury? Feelings. She's the one screaming in the halls, screaming in the ladies' room. I wish the Democrats, and I'm glad to see them fighting, they are, but I wish that they would point it out. It's not both sides. I'm sorry, corporate media. I know that's your go-to position. Because when Jasmine Crockett, they kept playing this clip of her going back, and we'll play it.
A baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl?
We are going to move, and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. All right. We're
This is
suspending.
Comer. What a
Ms.
joke.
Greene agrees to strike her words.
I believe
I won't apologize.
Okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Greene
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
No,
Okay,
because you're
reserve
so
the right to
strong.
I am not
nervous.
apologizing.
Being a Republican means never saying sorry. And like I have said, that's it. That should be their whatever, their moniker, their, what do you call it? Their tagline. That's what I mean. Forget the party of personal responsibility. Being Republican means never saying sorry. They think that's strong. Right? But for the rest of us, for humans, for actual humans who are capable of functioning in a free democratic society, that's weak as fuck. Like their con man. Like their con man Fuhrer. It's just simply weak. You're weak. You're devolved. You're embarrassing. You're unable to keep up, and the world keeps evolving without you. That's why they're pissed, I guess. That's why they act like this, why they don't know how to behave. Like, that's one of the signs of insanity. Yeah, they think that they are fit for this office, but obviously every single day they prove that wrong by their behavior. And I guess that must be very frustrating to them. And therefore, they simply act out like little children in over their heads. Your eyelashes, you're fat. You look old. You're a horse face. Debate me. I wouldn't debate a 3-year-old. But 3-year-olds get corrected when they're out of line. I guess Perjury Taylor Greene never got corrected, and now she's being encouraged by all her troglodyte followers in her gerrymandered district. Yeah, I feel bad for her children, frankly. Imagine that's your mother behaving like that. Well, look at Lauren Boebert from the bowling alley, Boebert. Her kids, what's she doing in New York? Sucking the con man's fragile eggshell ego. While her sons can't even get a lawyer. Her criminal son, who's on a crime spree stealing from, I think he stole somebody's last $30, someone who is trying to recover from cancer. That's your Christian family values. She should be there with her son. All right.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you
That's
debate
Comer.
me?
Why
Mr.
don't you
Chairman,
debate me?
The minority.
This is the debate. The debate me caucus. Debate me. Debate me. Debate me about what? Debate whether you have you're capable. You're how unfit. I mean, I wouldn't debate somebody who is mentally unstable, mentally ill. Debate me about what? You are trying to overthrow the government. Debate me. Debate me about the fact that you had to beg for a pardon 3 days after being sworn into Congress because you're a traitor. Fuck. Debate you. Go on your stupid podcast. Talk about Jewish space lasers. Debate. I'm going to debate somebody who is so cooked out that she thinks that Sandy Hook was a false flag. A liar who sat on the stand, by the way. Remember how she was asked, didn't you call for the death of the Speaker of the House? No. And then they put up her tweet. Well, wait a second here. Hold on. Now I remember. Ugh.
Self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
You don't have enough
Okay,
intelligence,
move to strike
says
the- I
the
move to strike the lady's
kook.
word.
The serial adulterer kook, the CrossFit kook, the Jewish space laser kook. It's not the only thing she said. I mean, she has a long history of being a very unhinged kook with fringe conspiracy theories rattling around her empty skull. You don't have the intelligence. Sure, Perjury.
I would like
Strike the lady's words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the words.
There's another motion to strike her words again. Please.
All right,
Yeah, the
okay,
words.
Here's the correct.
We could take
correct
the
apology.
words. We just can't take the childish antics. They can't take the words. Why don't you act like an adult? Debate me. Act like somebody who can debate. Act like somebody who knows how to act. You don't even have to be that somebody. Just act as if. Try to pretend, but she can't help it. They can't help it. They bring their debasement wherever they go. That's why she chases people through the halls of Congress, screaming matches. What a fucking disgusting turn of events in this country. Oh, we got to save America. That's how they save America. They're going to we have to save America by being absolutely disgusting. By acting like, I mean, could you imagine if the founding fathers got a glimpse into this future? Could you imagine their disgust? And like I say, every time I think they hit bottom, they keep flailing, and the trap door opens, and there they go.
Ms. Greene, do you ask unanimous? Do you agree to unanimous
There's
consent
Comer.
to strike your word?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words, but I'm not apologizing.
Without objection.
Not
I'm not apologizing
Ms. Greene,
for
4
making
minutes
fun
and
of someone's
21 seconds.
eyelashes.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
Chairman,
What?
I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold on.
a part of
Trying
the.
to find clarification on what
Chairman,
qualifies.
motion
I
to
had
strike
no
those
idea
Bad
what you
words.
just
butch
said.
body.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys.
Oh,
earlier literally just said-
you guys,
did it
you
first.
guys.
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about it.
But you just say you're gonna
Order,
have
order.
Marjorie
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look it, calm down. Calm
Oh,
down.
well,
because
the
this is
black
what y'all
woman,
do.
calm
I'm trying
down.
to get
Don't be
clarification.
angry.
You're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Miss
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And
yelling.
You don't want
Miss
calm down.
Crockett.
No.
Can you please calm
Don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
out-
to
You're
you,
out of
y'all
control.
have a problem.
Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right, chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're-
Clowns.
Order.
Not,
to
I'm
adjourn,
not
Mr.
talking about
Chairman.
Jasmine Crockett. These fucking party of personal responsibility,
I think
right?
these 17-hour
You
days might not work for
guys,
us.
you guys.
Something about working, huh?
Yeah, maybe showing up for a vote.
You have a lot to say, being that you're on retainer for the judge's daughter.
Daughter.
Sorry, trust fund kid.
Mr. Chairman.
The judge's
We should strike
daughter.
those words too.
I hope you brought your
We-
popcorn.
Mr. Chair,
We
we
have
Oh,
to strike
Perjury.
the fact
You
that
really
they called
slam
they were
dunked it.
making comments about Marjorie's body. So we
Marjorie's
can,
body!
I have a motion
Mr. Chairman, this is out of
I'd like to
control.
get.
We should adjourn, Mr.
They're making comments about Marjorie's body. She didn't say a name. She didn't say anything. She just gave a hypothetical. If you talk about somebody's bleach blonde, bad butch body, would that be wrong? And she's like, she's the one that said it's talking about Marjorie. They're talking about Marjorie's body, but don't say anything about the fact that Perjury Taylor Greene started to insult Jasmine Crockett's appearance. And meanwhile, I mean, look, she has no, she doesn't have a leg to stand on. Jasmine Crockett is beautiful on the outside and the inside. So, you know, Perjury Taylor Greene can't handle that. But not that it even matters. So and then she's insulting, talking about AOC's intelligence when AOC could run rings around the friggin' space laser troglodyte. So, and then the corporate media, of course, went on about playing those clips, and they were discussing it as if it was both sides were out of control. Both sides. But this is where we are. That's why we have to get these. I mean, it's going. I can't. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just babbling now because it's just so unfathomable to think that these people might get elected. I don't know. I mean, maybe in their gerrymandered district. And this is the problem, you know. I mean, we know how to fix this country. Get money out of politics, for one. Pass the the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, for example, which Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger voted against, even though it would have ended gerrymandering in the country and the districts would be drawn fairly. That's what we need. But, even the good Republicans don't want Americans to vote. How is it fair? Right? How is this happening? You know why we have to endure this shit show of the Republicans? Because of this, all the corruption, because of the gerrymandering, because they've been allowed to corrupt this government. So, because they don't have ideas, what are they doing? You're going to knock on somebody's door and say, Jasmine Crockett's got fake eyelashes. Vote for me. Vote for me. I called somebody horseface. Vote for me. And then that fucking con man that they love goes, and of course he's slipping. I can't wait for the debate. And I hope that Joe Biden just continues to zing him. And I like the dark Brandon of the way he's mocking this con man. I hear you're free on Wednesdays and whatnot. That's what you got to do. You just got to go. You got to go for it. Exactly. Matt on the chat. We pay these people $175,000 a year. Well, that's what we pay Marjorie Taylor Greene. I thought she's a businesswoman. No, she's a grifter. She's a fake-ass businesswoman. She never businesswomaned anything. Her family owns a business, and then when she wanted to run for Congress because she fell down a Q hole when the con man got elected or something, and she never paid attention to politics. She's like one of these other assholes that are like, oh, they're all the same or whatnot. But she would go on, she started going on this QAnon trip. But before that, they went through her social media history. All she did was talk about CrossFit. She never had an idea about anything. Well, she still doesn't. But this is what we're dealing with. And the other problem, let me see what the time is. Oh, my goodness. Where's Farrago? Oh, my God. Farrago. Guys, hold on. Oh, my God. Where is Farrago? Shit. Something's wrong. Something is wrong with my... I'm sorry about this. Oh, here it is. Okay. Well, in the last part of the Progressive Voices part of the show... Now, if you're on Progressive Voices, the show is a little shorter, but you come over to youtube.com/c4channel/Tarabuster to watch the whole show. And also, you can become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. And other places the show is on, like APS Radio News and whatnot. And whatnot. Is that a place? Is that a site? Whatnot? But, all right, another thing I wanted to talk about. There's so many things. It never stops. Well, I want to talk about this Alito. And I'm sure you saw. This is a disgrace. This is part of everything that we have to do. Get money out of politics and pass the voting rights laws that end gerrymandering, that allow people to easily vote, because there is no voter fraud and whatnot. Republicans, their whole bullshit about Democrats want illegals. This is why they want illegals to come to the country, because then they can turn them into Democrats. Well, as Republicans know, but still hold press conferences to pass laws to stop immigrants from voting. Not immigrants, I mean illegals or those who aren't citizens. Non-citizens can't vote. That's already a thing. And Republicans, they know what they're doing. They're just tickling the racist funny bones of their base, of their horrible base. And so, anyway, many things. The other thing that has to happen is we have to do something about this illegitimate, corrupt Supreme Court. They have no shame. They have no decency. They shouldn't be there. Enough is enough. This is the problem with Democrats, though. Okay? I'm just going to point it out. Because the Democrats, what gets on my nerves is that Republicans are shameless. They play for keeps. They're not kidding around. They corrupt because they have no respect for democracy. They hate democracy. They want, this has been going on a long time. It's not just me. It's not just Trump talking about, the Trump is the symptom, but it comes out of their own mouth. Like, Paul Weyrich, the guy who founded the Heritage Foundation, for one thing. We don't want everybody to vote. The election, our leverage in the election goes up as the voting populace goes down. That was how many years ago? 50 years ago? We don't want everyone to vote. They've been engaging in voter suppression, gerrymandering, everything that stops Americans from actually exercising their right to vote. They want to make it harder. They want to make people, but there's no, the things that they do is, of course, the most disgusting and unconscionable low that they've sunk to is this election was stolen bullshit that they've all glommed onto because of their con man. The con man with the fake university, the con man with the fake multi-level marketing vitamin scam, the one who forged his wealth to Forbes and all this other shit. And oh my God, what? Haiku. Some local jackoff has 2 huge signs on the highway here in Futbuck, Colorado. Trump 2024 and restore democracy. Oh my God. You see what I mean? Well, that's what Republicans do. They get people twisted with their propaganda. That's why propaganda it works. This is why we're in this boat. And I've, when we were talking about how the election is close in all these states, but you know why? Because of the right-wing media, because we have these silos of information. And they've done that deliberately, which is another example of how they really hate democracy. They don't like it. They want people to vote for their own demise. And they do it by tickling the racist funny bones. And if they cared about this country, if they cared about democracy, if they cared about, all the sacrifices, the ultimate sacrifices that people made to create and not just create, but to keep this democracy going, then they wouldn't behave like this. They wouldn't be trying to kick people off the voting rolls. They wouldn't stand in the way of stopping gerrymandering. They wouldn't, for example, I remember not too long ago I don't remember exactly when, but one of the push that it's always Democrats trying to make Election Day a holiday. Republicans stand in the way of that all the time. They want, and in fact now many jurisdictions in the country, they're trying to limit because now Democrats are mail-in voting. It used to be the other way around, that Republicans used mail-in voting, but until the con man, for whatever reason, because he's a dirtbag and doesn't know shit, so he just says what comes out of his mouth, and it's not very bright. He started to disparage mail-in voting, I guess because it was a good excuse for him why he's a loser. So he could say, well, they cheated with the mail-in voting, and it was, there I was up on election night, and then all of a sudden the mail-in votes came in, and as if there's something fucking wrong with that. Yeah, they counted the votes, you piece of dirt. But but yeah, everything that actual patriots do to advance democracy and expand the franchise, Republicans and conservatives, let's say, they stand in the way. So let's see, what was I saying here? So Alito, another thing that we have to do, besides everything else, one is get money out of politics. Well, first we have to get Joe Biden elected. We got a lot of work to do. And if I had my wish, I would, of course, do something about the Supreme Court right away, but one step at a time. But this Supreme Court is beyond repair. It is irredeemable, like the Republican Party itself. It is, really needs to, something has to be done. First of all, we know that Congress has oversight of the Supreme Court, even though the Supreme Court, this is how corrupt they are, and the Republicans, they cry and scream and say, even didn't Alito say recently something about how he was shocked and appalled that the Congress wanted to talk to him or something, and he's like, how is this three co-equal branches of government? And there you go, Alito. It's right in the Constitution. Not that you give a shit, because all Republicans do is fix the facts around the policy. I mean, that's what the conservative so-called Supreme Court does. They make shit up, even if they have to reach into the 1600s and take the writings of a judge that is that was considered a misogynist in his day. They then take an English judge, not even an American judge. I mean, we are going to the 1600s before the country was founded, and use that as somehow why we should drag women to back alleys. Oh my God, is that the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show? Jesus, Mary and Joseph, come back, shame. Come back, Progressive Voices, to youtube.com/C4channel/Tarabuster. We got more show. Become a patron. You can also do that and watch the whole, or listen to the whole show. We will win. We will win. We know, no matter what, we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, Jim and Ed, for your super chats. Thank you, Haiku. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, everybody. All right. Why can't I do better on time? I gotta fucking work on that. I got so much to work on. Hold on. Can we revisit my sterilization idea now? Jim says. I wish. I know. Okay, so let's see. Alito and his little flag stunt on January 6, 2021. Is that when it happened? That's what I have written down here. It sounds... Let me see. Flag. When did he fly that flag? Well, anyway, so Alito has had a flag outside of his house because he pretends to be such a patriot. Meanwhile, he hates America. Let's see, the flag. Flag. I think it's... When was September 11th? That day. January 6th. Was it 2021? Yes, of course. Let's see. Senate Judiciary Committee Chair Dick Durbin called on Samuel Alito to recuse himself from all cases related to the 2020 election on January 6th. And as we know right now, the Supreme Court has done all it can, or is doing all it can do, to protect the con man, to delay the con man's the accountability. That's why they reached out and grabbed that immunity case, when, according to everybody who is a judicial scholar, they had no business doing it. It's a slam dunk. There's no reason to do it. But they did it because it delays. And we all know that this filthy court can rule quickly when it wants to. So I love how this filthy court is. They're upset too. This is another thing. According to different reports, they're saying that they're upset. Oh, how the people are misunderstanding. How can they call them partisan and all this other shit? Well, why don't you stop being kept by billionaires? Stop having an insurrectionist wife. Stop not recusing yourself from cases that you clearly have no business presiding over. I mean, the fact that Uncle Clarence is on any January 6th case is really a slap in the face to the majority of Americans that are patriots, that actually give a shit if this thing of ours survives. So let's see. It's the fact that Alito did this. So what he did, he flew his flag upside down outside his house. I guess because Biden got elected? How fucking dare you? Why? Well, according to him, it was because his wife... This is bullshit, too, because Republicans are filthy liars. They make excuses, of course. Party of personal responsibility. They're all very religious, too. That's why they have to send women to die in back alleys. They have to not only do nothing about abortion, but they just have to make it unsafe and traumatic. And because they love Jesus, like Perjury Taylor Greene loves Jesus. And hates feelings, I guess. I don't know. Did Jesus have feelings? I wonder. Alito decided it would be a great idea to fly his flag upside down. Well, this is what's rich, okay? He said his wife was in an argument with a neighbor. And that's one thing, right? So he's blaming his wife for flying a flag upside down. So what are you in an argument with a neighbor? First of all, it's another example of how unfit they are. You don't get along with your neighbors? Now, I know that some people have problems with neighbors, knock on wood. I've had relatively good relationships with my neighbors. There is one guy that's a little kooky, but that's nothing I'm involved in. But, so, knock on whatever. I know that sometimes we get, saddled with a Trumpanzee or something. But it speaks volumes about his utter unfitness and who they are in general. Yet again, childish. That's what Republicans are. So you're in what are you doing in a fight with your neighbors? You're a fucking Supreme Court justice. Don't you know how to control yourself? But that's him. This is the guy who, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was reading a dissent into the record, he was sitting there hemming and hawing, sighing, rolling his eyes. Okay? Because he's a fucking child like the rest of them. And he has no business. And the other thing about them, and Alito and Uncle Clarence, it's the same way. They're so put upon. They're always so angry. What are you angry about? You old cracker. What the hell are you angry about? But what are you doing? And this is a guy that is shaping the future of America for generations to come. And Roberts wonders why this court has an appallingly low approval rate. I think it's like 8%. Let me look this up. What is the approval? Not that whatever polls, but rating. What is the approval rating of the Supreme Court? Let's see what comes back. Let's see. Gallup says a Gallup poll from, this is 2023. I don't know. Let me look this up in a better way. I was asking the AI. It says, it has a 40%, 58% disapprove, whatever. See, I thought it was lower than that. Am I wrong? Yeah, I don't know. 41% approval rating? Who are those 41%? I guess it's the Trumpanzees. Wait. Oh, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, but what a goddamn disgrace. So he flew this flag outside his house. This went on for days. But what are you doing? So you have an argument with a neighbor, and your response to it doesn't make any sense. Your response to it is to fly your flag in a manner that is not conducive to, I don't know, patriotism. I don't know. What is it? It's like you fly your flag. You're a Supreme Court justice. But what are you doing fighting with your neighbors? You can't control yourself. And then you fly your flag in an unapproved manner to be what? To be a child. To stick it to the libs, right? Is that it? What the fuck? And then they ask him about it, and he blames his wife. It's your wife. But you had to come and go. Your flag is outside your house. It's not in the backyard. It's not in your wife's room. Because I'm sure you don't sleep together. And you didn't say to your wife, hey, what's your name again? Oh, honey, I'm a Supreme Court justice. Do you think that's wise? Considering we're not supposed to give the appearance of political, anything. We're supposed to, it's kind of our thing. Exactly. Haiku on the chat. The party of take no responsibility. Again. That's it. The party of personal responsibility only sticks to that motto when they're trying to deny somebody a hot lunch program or living wages, retirement security, decency in general. Party of personal responsibility. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh no, it was my wife. And who can believe that? And that's another sign of a sociopath who lies. He doesn't give a shit. It's like Uncle Clarence. He doesn't even feel like he needs to apologize. Of course, being a Republican means never saying sorry. Of course, you never apologize because you're a weak little child. That's why. They're too weak to ever take responsibility. And you blame your wife. But he just gives this dismissive excuse because he's got that's how much he disdains the American people. We're nothing. Go fuck off. I'll fly my flag however I want. And he's done many other unethical things. He's another one being kept as a pet by billionaires without apology. He's also spoken at these partisan events and whatnot. This is what Republicans do. They lower the bar and then they keep digging. As soon as you think they hit bottom, they keep on digging. They keep going lower. But this is what they do. And now if you would never, ever see a Democrat. Imagine if Ketanji Brown Jackson, it was reported that she hung her flag upside down when the con man became the so-called president despite receiving fewer votes. Could you imagine what the outrage would be, what the faux rage? It would be on nonstop. And you know what would happen too? The other corporate media, because you have the right-wing fascist media, that's just a propaganda mill, and then you have the other mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, that's trying to play at both sides. They're trying to be fair. Like, I'm sick of it though. Like, for example, I was watching Ari Melber, and he had, what's his name? Michael Avenatti, which was such a, wow, what are you doing? Why are you having this crook on? And then, but he had another, he got panned for that, and then he had some other Trumpanzee lawyer on the other day to go on and what? Why? And he's the Trumpanzee lawyer. I don't know how many times he had to say, he said President Trump. I was going to vomit. He's not the president. He's not. I don't care how many times they say it. They have to say it, though. Because the con man will have nothing less. And he needs to be propped up artificially like all his life. Like his fake-ass Forbes fortune. That was fake. Like everything he's done. Like his diploma from all the best. He was in the Wharton School of Business where he paid other people to take his tests and take his SATs. And that's why he's a moron. Because it doesn't matter if you actually achieve the things. You just have to have the accolades. That's why he wants the Nobel Peace Prize without doing anything for peace, without earning it. Because, he needs to be propped up. It doesn't have to be that whatever it is he's pretending to be. That's what's so disgusting about them. They talk about, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and how, everybody should work, and Democrats don't work. Well, Democrats don't go around pretending to be, like, for example, what else? Unless you could prove me wrong. I know not all Democrats are 100% correct all the time, and like, for example, Menendez. But we don't have people like George Santos. We don't have, who's the other one? There was another one. I can't remember his name now. He's still in there. he's another one saying that he was some kind of international man of mystery, that he worked on child sex crimes for, I don't know, Interpol or something. Like he was some like James Bond type. And it's all false. I hate them, legally and peacefully. So, yeah, it's incredible how this man, Alito, who is he's a Supreme Court justice. He's shaping the future. He's sitting up there in judgment of us all. He's trying to make a society like the society he thinks is great. You know, the society where women die in back alleys and you fight with your neighbors. And when you have a fight with your neighbors, you put up a flag. You gotta, stick it to them. What does that have to do with anything? But it doesn't. You're putting up your flag. I'll show my neighbors in direct just disregard of who the fuck you are. The people who work for the Supreme Court, and all of the clerks and everyone else, the secretaries, if you work for the Supreme Court, you can't be political in any way. They have an ethics law. They have they have to abide by ethics rules, not the Supreme Court justices themselves, but the Supreme Court, the people who we'll never know their names unless they do something unethical, like the Republicans and a future Republican autocrat sticks them on the bench as a prize, as a thank you. Yeah, so that's what these Republicans, it reminds me of not Perjury trade agreement. I'm sure she doesn't get along with her neighbors either. Can you imagine her with her neighbors? You think she's like, hi, Madge. Hi. Oh, hi, Marjorie. You're the best. You're the great. She's just, they're horrible. But it's like Lauren banned from the bowling alley, right? She and her neighbors couldn't get along either. Why? Because they don't know how to act. They don't. How could you get along with somebody when you hate them? You hate their feelings. These people might have feelings. You hate this country so much that anybody who's a Democrat, you have to what? You want to drink their tears because that's normal, right? Drinking your fellow Americans' tears. What a patriot you are. Meanwhile, Democrats. That's why I say Democrats are, not perfect, but we're not trying to hurt people. Not trying to drink their tears. We're not out there calling people fat pig, horse face. We got better things to do. We're actually trying to promote the general welfare. We're actually trying to, make sure that nobody has to needlessly die without health care. Now, imagine, for example, when the pandemic hit, if Hillary Clinton was in office, do you think there'd be 1 million corpses? Do you think there'd be mass graves? You think there'd be all this division about, wearing a mask? Do you think that anyone would have injected themselves with bleach? Because that happened. Because the con men, do you think there'd be this run on ivermectin, horse pills, killing people, podcasts about ivermectin, groups, social media, Reddit groups? How much ivermectin should I take? No, but don't believe the scientists, the people, who are developing a vaccine. Believe Rando56792 on Reddit, who tells you, well, if you're, 175 pounds and, I think you should take about 5 ivermectins a day. Yeah. So what's going to happen? You think the Supreme Court, you think Alito and Uncle Clarence are going to recuse themselves? They haven't so far. But now they're being called to recuse themselves from all the January 6 cases. And what do you think they're going to do? And I don't know if Roberts has any pull with them, but he's like James Comer in the Oversight Committee. They have no control over these traitors, over these people that don't care about the country. What do they think is going to happen? It's just so confusing to me. What are they trying to achieve? I mean, for Alito, for example, I guess he's trying to destroy this democracy. Because what else could you be doing by hanging your flag upside down and throwing your lot in with the traitors who stormed the Capitol chanting "Hang Mike Pence"? Where's Nancy Pelosi, who defecated and urinated in the halls, who trashed the joint? And you're throwing your lot in with them? Because a con man said he lost the election. It was stolen from him. And Alito, is he that stupid that he thinks it was actually stolen? Of course he's probably not. He knows better. But they don't care. That's the thing. They want power, like George Bush, like George W. Bush. He doesn't care that he received fewer votes. He wants the Supreme Court to install him. He doesn't give a shit that the majority of Americans didn't vote for him. He doesn't care. You would think they would want to win legitimately, but that's not the point. It's about power for the Republicans, and I wish I was wrong. But for Democrats, the thing that gets on my nerves is that what are we doing? You know, every time a Democrat talks about the Supreme Court, I've been saying this forever, they need to point out the fact that they are illegitimate. This is an illegitimate court that is put on there, the majority, that these right-wing justices, or whatever they are put on there by less vote-getting presidents. And the ones who are put on there, like Alito and Uncle Clarence, by the less vote-getting presidents. And then the others are put on there by complete fraud. By it's not the violation of norms, the complete usurpation of the Constitution in direct defiance, in a disdain for the majority of Americans. That's what Moscow Mitch did. He was like, He didn't block Obama. He blocked the American people who gave Obama that charge from the Constitution, the constitutionally proscribed role to nominate a Supreme Court justice. And he blocked it. And then he shoved Amy Coney Barrett. Unbelievable. And the Democrats, if anything has to get done, and this is the thing, it's with the Democrats, I get annoyed because it seems to me that they accept defeat and move on. They just accept it. It's like Al Gore in the when the Supreme Court installed George Bush, though I always remember that. Though I disagree with the ruling, I accept it. And he did it for the good of the country, apparently. But was it really, in the long run, the good of the country? If we didn't have George W. Bush, God knows, maybe September 11th wouldn't have happened. We know that Al Gore wouldn't have invaded the wrong country that had nothing to do with attacking us. Ugh, God. What the hell? What am I reading here? It says Legal experts are divided. Give me a break. Whether displaying the flag violates judicial conduct rules. Jesus Christ. Oh, with some arguing it warrants scrutiny and recusal, while others see it as a closer call, since Alito claims it was his wife's action. Bullshit. His wife's action. You let it stand. Your wife does something like that, you're jeopardizing your job, you would think, right? But he knows different. It's not jeopardy. You know, he's got this lifetime position. He's like, fuck you, America. You voted for Joe Biden? I don't like Joe Biden. Why? Because I want to send women to back alleys to die, I guess. These people are disgusting, and they're unfit. I mean, just the fact that he couldn't sit there like a adult when Ruth Bader Ginsburg is reading a dissent into the record says everything. Could you imagine? Think about it. Imagine Ketanji Brown Jackson sitting there and sighing, rolling her eyes when Uncle Clarence or any one of these horrible, unfit, unqualified flunkies goes on about something from the 1600s. Some bullshit. Alito said that he had no involvement whatsoever in the flying of the flag and claimed it was briefly placed by Mrs. Alito. Briefly. It went on for days, by the way. In response to a neighbor's use of objectionable and personally insulting language on yard signs. Bullshit. Bullshit. What personally insulting language? They said, Alito sucks? And who cares? You're a Supreme Court justice. Don't you know how to rise above something? Because you know better than that. You don't want to get in the mud with somebody, if that's the case. You know, somebody who puts objectionable language on a sign. And you're the Supreme Court justice. Aren't you supposed to set the standard? A neighbor living nearby reported, my adult daughter had brought home signs from a protest and displayed them in her front yard. Give me a break. It said the signs appeared in late 2020 and contained derogatory language towards Trump. And that's personally insulting? To Alito? Give me a break. So he puts an upside down flag because that's what you do when you're a Supreme Court justice. You don't, lower the temperature. You pour, fuel on the fire. If you're what are you doing having an argument with somebody's sign anyway? Go about your business. Mind your own freaking business. You're an adult. You're a grown-ass man on the Supreme goddamn Court. But Republicans, this is what they do. They're not fit. They are not fit. A legal expert, Stephen Gillers, said, the test in the recusal statute is based on the perspective of a fair-minded person who has all the facts. Such an objective observer would not question Alito's impartiality based on this incident. This incident has reignited debates about establishing a formal ethics code for the Supreme Court. Why not? Clearly, they can't. They don't know. They have no ethics. They have no standards. Unreal. But it's not the first time. You know? And it won't be the last. Well, how much longer? I have to ask again. How much longer are we going to take it? Now, I see there's only 5 minutes left in the show. I had another story about, I guess we can talk about it during the week. But about, Greg Abbott pardoning a murderer who killed a Black Lives Matter protester. And there you go. You see, now imagine if this man had killed a white man. Imagine if it was a black man, first of all, who killed a Trumpanzee. This guy, Greg Abbott, governor of Texas, pardoned Daniel Perry, former U.S. Army sergeant, who was convicted of murdering Garrett Foster. Imagine being the family of this murdered man. A Black Lives Matter protester during a rally in Austin. Perry was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Prior to the shooting, Perry expressed hostile views towards the Black Lives Matter movement. Court documents reveal that a month before the incident, Perry wrote on Facebook, "It's official, I'm a racist because I don't agree with people acting like animals at the zoo." Well, I've been to Black Lives Matter protests. I didn't see any animals at the zoo. No one defecated in the halls of the Capitol. No one beat cops. Nobody brought... There were not a cattle prod or zip tie in the lot. During the trial, prosecutors highlighted Perry's persistent use of racist language. Hi, Tara Jr. And condemnation of the BLM in the lead up to the shooting. He had also told a friend he might have to kill a few people on his way to work. Unbelievable. And Texas Board of Pardons unanimously recommended the pardon, citing the state's stand your ground law. And that's Republicans again. Adding, this is what they want. You understand? They want this country killing each other. They want people at each other's throats. They want a civil war. They want, dead liberals. That's it. They are not dead conservatives, because rules for thee, not for me, of course. If the shoe was on the other foot, we know. If the man who was killed was the Trumpanzee, and it was a Black Lives Matter protester doing the killing, it wouldn't matter. We know. Unbelievable. And now, and that's, more pain. The family that grieves their loved one, now they have something else to grieve. The injustice. Like we should all grieve. This is Republican governance. It's nothing but divisive, and they're not governing. They're ripping this country apart. And if they had any patriotism, they would not behave like this. They would want to unify the country. They'd want to help people. They want to bring people together. But they don't. They want people to shoot each other. All right, guys. Listen. Thank you for hanging out. We got more show, hopefully this week. Thank you, guys. Thank you, patrons. Patreon.com/TaraDevlin. Thank you, Jim and Ed, for your super chats. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you soon. Yes. See you soon. All right. Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys, for hanging out. I'm glad you could join us, Haiku. Nice to see ya. And when will Spooky join the podcast? I don't know. Soon. When he's feeling better. When he's settled in more. He's got some goopy eyes. He's on medicine. I don't know. His eyes are all fucked up. I don't know. He's got a scratch on one of his eyes. The doctor said he'd put some stuff in it and put a light. He's got a scratch. And the other eye is, maybe that's why the guy, whoever, dumped him. Who knows? I don't know. But Spooky is a very good boy so far. I feel bad for him, you know? So I'll probably keep him. I guess I've decided it. I'm keeping him. I have a guinea pig now, okay? So kill me, so shoot me. All right, listen, guys, I gotta go because I gotta go see Spooky. I want to spend some time with Spooky. And he's such a good little spooky spook. He's so cute, the way he squeaks. And I never had a guinea pig, so I hear that they're very social. And that when sometimes they will squeak when they see you if they're happy. He's not there yet. He's a good spooky spook, you know? He's black and white. Let me see if I have a picture of him. Spooky. He's a good spooky spook. All right. Sorry, I don't mean to be annoying. I can't help it though. Oh, look at him. Spooky. See, he's eating some lettuce. I got him some organic romaine lettuce. He likes it. I got him some broccoli. He doesn't like the broccoli. See? There he is eating. He doesn't like the broccoli. He likes the asparagus. Isn't it cute? As you see, his eyes a little gunky. He just likes chewing on lettuce. What can you do? Yeah, the cats are good with him so far. I let him run around, and they were smelling him, but nobody made a move on him. I guess they know he's not dinner. All right. Guys, thank you very much. I love you all. And remember to, become a patron. I don't know. All these other things. We got to do. But I hope to see you. Maybe it probably won't be Wednesday. It might be Thursday. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know. We'll do a show during the week. It's been too long. Okay, guys. I'm tired. I'll see you. Be good. I kind of had a knot in my stomach with all these Republicans. I need to rest. I'm going to rest and take care of Spooky. I will see you very soon.